Today is probably not the greatest time to be a Bungie studio developer or creator or designer or just being anything related to Bungie right now. At this point in time in 2026, as Paul Tassi, the guy who has his hidden agents inside the Bungie studio and has his just insane crazy sources, has delivered another devastating Twitter post that has gained a lot of traction, almost 600k views, so it's something. And just going over the Twitter post here, Sony's earnings of $560 million of impairment loss against Bungie. If we just look into this real quick and just study the graph, I don't actually know what it means. What I do know is that it basically means that Sony is making a loss on Bungie. If you don't recall, Bungie was bought by Sony for around $3.6 billion, I'm pretty sure. And what it's saying is after the few years that Sony has owned Bungie, they actually made a loss in the long run. What does that tell us for Bungie and whatever projects they've been making or plan to make in the future is that they're probably going to get cancelled. Sony has shut down loads of studios in the past who have been thinking of making huge projects in the plans, and Sony has shut them down. Bungie is heading into a similar direction. They are failing at the moment in Sony's perspective. Marathon is not doing too well. I believe the numbers for Marathon are now less than Destiny 2's. And if you've played Destiny 2 recently, you know that Destiny 2 is not in the greatest state ever. It's in its worst state ever. Over the few decades of Destiny's release, Destiny 2 is at its worst. And Marathon is performing worse than that. That should say something about the state that Marathon's in right now. Even though Marathon has an incredible dev team who are quick to do these patches and fixes, there's just no market for such a niche genre of a game. Extraction shooters, you can see the same with Arc Raiders as well. Arc Raiders has been plummeting in its numbers, and Arc Raiders is the more popular extraction shooter that people prefer over Marathon. And if Arc Raiders is plummeting and not getting as many numbers as it used to, Marathon is going to get similarly affected because it's the same sort of market of game, extraction shooter. But Marathon just is not bringing enough players in. It released with under 100k players on Steam, but the Steam numbers are what Paul Tassi has claimed to be the majority. That's where he got his source from, is that Steam is where most people are playing Marathon in. On consoles, it's different, it's less. I think Xbox is literally like less than 5%, so PC is the majority. And if we're seeing under like 15k for Steam numbers on Marathon, console players are non-existent, because no one is playing Marathon on console. It's not on any of the deals on the PlayStation Store. I don't think it's on any like discount, or actually it might be on a little discount because it's performing not great. But it's not on any of the What's Hot deals or anything like that. It's literally not on the PlayStation Store. That's how much confidence Sony has in Marathon. And that's the side effect of what happens when you release a very niche genre of a game. And it's crazy that Destiny 2 is still outperforming Marathon after so long of just being radio silent. This June update that they're bringing to Destiny needs to be legendary. I don't have much confidence in that with what I'm hearing from Sony and sort of the direction Bungie is going in. But I think this is a sign that layoffs may be happening very soon, or there could potentially be a studio shutdown. Either way, both would be devastating news from Bungie's perspective, and to our perspective, it would basically mean that D3 would not really be possible. D1 Classic would also not be possible. And if the studio shuts down, everything related to Bungie is gone. All their potential Halo development finished. This Gummy Bears project, I have no idea what that's about, but that's gone. Marathon will be finished. Destiny 2 is going to be getting no updates really, and it just means that we can free ourselves from our shackles once Bungie does shut down. But once again, I hope they don't, but the charts and the numbers say otherwise. Marathon's not doing well, Destiny's not doing well, and Sony just doesn't have confidence in Bungie anymore. It's not the same Bungie that they originally hired a few years ago. It's different now, different team. It's a whole nother ball game, and I don't think Sony was up for that. And these layoffs that have been happening in the last few years are also just a bad sign of the confidence that Sony has in Bungie. And if more future layoffs happen, then I think it's over. I genuinely think it's over for Bungie as a studio, and we're just gonna have to live with it, unfortunately. Obviously, you know, the community has been very vocal about it. We've been saying how they could be improving games and so forth, and the whole we're listening thing, and the whole content creators going at it with all their videos, same as me, because it gets views. But yeah, I mean, the reason why these videos are being made is because we've been very vocal about and passionate about how Bungie can fix their game, the games that they've been making. Specifically, everyone is very passionate about Destiny. If you've been playing OG Destiny, or if you've been playing D2, right? Content creators have been vocal about what's been good, what's been bad, and the community has been going alongside it. You know, the community people are also a little bit more vocal. They will literally say, DMG, you should commit hang atrocity. I cannot speak on what that phrase means, but if you know, you know. And, you know, that's just the Twitter side of things, which we don't dive into, but it still affects the developers in that way. And I just believe that their the actual motivations at Bungie and the mental state that they've got and the confidence that the team has with each other is just not there. And it doesn't help that it's not the same exact studio as it was a few years ago. Obviously, the vision is completely different to what it once was, and that's probably one reason why it's what's led to this loss that Sony has impaired themselves from hiring Bungie. Once again, this is news that's not particularly great to hear, but it's something that's been revealed to us, and now we have to take it on the chin. As far as how Bungie's going to address it, I've got no idea. I believe Twids in D2 are also going to be still quiet for a few weeks. Just stay tuned for any DMG posts. And once again, we are still waiting for the June update. Maybe something crazy will happen. I don't know. But yeah, at the moment, just keep playing random games. Just be hyped for something different other than anything Destiny related or anything Bungie related. Because right now the direction that the studio's heading is just kind of downwards. And it's just better off you unshackle yourself and find something different to play. Or just try different genres of game. Maybe play story games or something. Just literally get yourself away from Destiny and Bungie, because you will be disappointed, and that's kind of the reality that we've been living in for the last few years. And I'm afraid I also just don't have the confidence in Bungie like I used to, and I can't cope anymore. I genuinely think the game is failing and is dying, and the studio is just also not going in the right direction that I was hoping for. Once again, thank you guys for sticking through to the very end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And stay tuned for the next upload coming very soon. It might be a Battlefront 2 video, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I will see you there. Peace.